Welcome back to Live Happily Ever Now. I am your host, Carrie Briggs. Welcome to another episode of this really weird podcast that only like 20 of you listen to. And that's okay, because the 20 of you who are listening are the ones who actually need this message. Okay. So much of the time, I have been talking about, for years actually, for years and years and years, I have been using Reiki as an identity of who I am and where I came from. And that is a huge part of my path because of everything that I've learned. Reiki is the basis of who I am. I use it every single day without fail, multiple times a day, because I am Reiki. Once you learn a modality, you are Reiki. But the thing that I wanted to really talk about this episode is how when you learn to embody the things that you are, everything begins to fall into place. Because you don't need another modality. You don't need another class. You don't need another course. You don't need another thing. What you need is to learn how to embody and be who you are at your core. Once you learn how to feel and move and breathe as everything that you've ever created. Because the reality is everything's already within you. And the also, everything you're learning, you already know. You are just remembering it in the moment, which is something I learned. It was a long time ago, and it was really cool to learn this. They're like, well, everybody is Reiki. Everybody knows how to use Reiki, but we don't remember how to use it. This is why we have certifications. This is why we have classes. Everybody knows how to do breath work, but we're remembering when we take these classes and courses. Everybody knows how to heal your nervous system, but we remember once we get into these spaces where there's these repetition and accountability to create the safety within our body. You already know how to do every single thing within you, but it's time to embody. It's time to feel safe in your body because we get so stuck and caught up in these lives. And I think this is where this episode's direction is going, because if you've been following me, you know that my episodes might have a plan and they might not have a plan. But the energy that's really coming through right now is this energy of you can have it all. You can have it all. And I saw a post today, and it was in a mom's group, and she was complaining about how she never has any space and she can't regulate herself, and how does anybody find space, and how does anybody manage the life and the emotions and the work and the bills and everything. And she goes, I just never have space. I never, how do you manage it? No therapist is helping, no therapist is helping me. And I wanted so badly to comment on there, because this is what I've been dealing with. There are so many coaches out there. There are so many I know exactly where this episode is going. There are so many. Oh, social media fucking kills me. And I got caught in this trap for so long. It's, well, this coach is like, oh, just do this and you're going to make $1 million. Just do this and you're going to do that. Just do this and you're going to do that. The problem with all of this shit is that most of those people do not have children. They have trust funds, they have sugar daddies, they have support, they have family that can take their kids. They aren't raising and building a business while having children. They're not raising and building a business while their nervous system is shot because they've been through severe trauma. They're not raising and creating everything from nothing. They have support. Maybe they have trust funds or financial support. Maybe they have a sugar daddy. Maybe they have a partner who is actually supportive and can take the kids. Maybe they have somebody who can build their businesses for them, or they have whatever it is. They have all of these extra supports. So they come in these online social media spaces being like, oh, it was so easy. I just did this one thing and now I have $1 million business. Fucking bullshit and false. There's no one thing that you just did that built your business. You probably had this one idea and then you had, oh, thousands of dollars worth of money that you could throw into Facebook ads or Meta ads to create and boost your thing for your $7 offer that has now created you millions of dollars. Most of us don't have that option. Most of us do not have that option. Or you have these business coaches who have never have children, live by themselves. They have all this free time. They have all this stuff. They have hours and hours and hours a day to devote to their businesses, to devote their careers, devote to their medicine, whatever it is. And they don't have the distractions of children, of sports, of health, of all of these different things, keeping them distracted from what they want to build. And I've spent so much time comparing myself to these people who have these perfect, beautiful lives. And I'm like, why can't I have that? Why can't I do this? Why can't I have that? And it took me somebody shaking me and waking me up and be like, Carrie, you are a single mother to 3 young children who depend on you 100% of the time. You have zero support from your ex-husband. You have zero support with your children. You are the one doing the sports, the doctor's appointments, the school, the drop-offs, the every single day, day to day. Also, you have a house, you have pets, you have yourself, and you are building a business by yourself. No wonder it's going to take time. No wonder it's going to take longer. Oh, and by the way, you also severed 11 years of abuse in a marriage. And you're still surviving 3 years post divorce abuse while managing all of these things alone. It's going to take a fucking hot second, babe. It's going to take a second for those things to catch up. But I spent so many years comparing. I'm not good enough. Why do they get to have it? Why can't I have it? What am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? There's nothing fucking wrong with me. The reality is we were handed a different path. And there's so many of you out there listening being like, "Oh my God, I've been comparing myself to all of these people. They don't have kids. They don't have situations that we've been through. They're not building it. Also, undiagnosed ADHD and probably TISMs. Highly neurodivergent. So I have all of these things that I'm dealing with, trying to process, trying to heal simultaneously while healing my kids, regulating my nervous system while regulating their nervous system, building a business, trying to create up money and finances and all of these things and relationships and friendships and parents and everything and sicknesses and everything all at once and doing a business. What's wrong with me, Carrie? There's nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with you if it feels hard because you were handed a path that is not as easy as other people. You were not. But when you look back and be like, holy shit, I fucking did that. I defeated so many odds that were against me. I look back and I just made a reel about this the other day. Like 6 months ago, me would not believe where I am today. Teenage me would not believe in any way, shape, or fucking form where I am today. I came from nothing. I'm not saying nothing. I came from, we didn't have a lot. I didn't have, a, we didn't have finances. Finances were a struggle. Money was a struggle growing up. Money was a struggle in my family. That was not something that I was ever blessed with. I've never had like a rich family member. I've never had things handed to me. I've had a job since I was 11 years old. It was hard. And I had these mindsets and these stories about everything in life is hard. You have to work so hard for everything. And then I was working full time and I worked in kitchens and I had a full time job when I was a senior in high school. I didn't do the partying. I did because I had this mindset of like, I have to work hard. I have to work hard. I have to do this because this is what we have to do. And then having children and then doing these businesses, I was still hustling and hustling and hustling. And my nervous system was fucking burnt out. I was pushing myself past capacity because that's what I had to do, because that's what we have to do. And I'm so fucking grateful for the work that I do. And I'm so fucking grateful that I knew the tools and did the things that I did before I did go through a divorce. Because I had this awareness. I'm like, I am not meant to do. And some people, like the logical minded people, I mean, none of these logical people are listening to this episode anyway. So fuck all them. The 12 of you who listen, I cannot work a 9 to 5. I cannot work a 9 to 5. That is not in my body. It is not in my mindset. I will lose my goddamn mind. I can work 8 to noon and I will still accomplish more in that 8 to noon than most people accomplish in a 9 to 5, 4 days a week. Because that is how my brain works. This is why I worked in kitchens. I worked in lines. I worked fast and efficient, fast and efficient, fast and efficient. My last friend I worked for, she had an Italian kitchen and I would work there. And she's like, she goes, I could give you 75 things and you would get them done in an hour. I'm like, yeah, because it's efficiency. It's fast. So anyway, sidetracked. I spent so much time comparing myself to other people. Why are they doing it? Why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they doing it? Why is it coming so easy for them? And it's like, oh, they have somebody paying. They have the money to do $1,000 in ads. Of course, it's going to be easy for them. Of course, when we throw money at things, I didn't have that option. The me that was 16 years old and hustling, looking at where I am today, saying, you're 34 years old. You have 3 children. You are single. You are so fucking in love with yourself, it's not even funny. You work a couple hours a week. You work and have fun and you play. You're paying your bills from something you love. You are so in love with your life. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it because I was so traumatized. So every time I get stuck in these stories, these patterns of, I'm not doing enough. Why isn't it working for me? Why isn't it working? I look at how fucking far I've come. What have you What do you have now that you once prayed for? How far have you come in your life? Because when you stop comparing yourself to everybody else and what they are doing, look at where you are. Look at what you were handed and what you've created from what you have handed. You've been handed. I know I've talked about Radical and I'm going to be talking about it until the day I fucking die because Radical changed my fucking life. 6 months ago, I was the most depressed and lowest I've ever been in my entire fucking life. I was suffering I mean, PTSD, obviously, um, divorce from a narcissistic abuse person. I was in a relationship with another abusive person who completely dismantled myself, my business. I allowed it to happen, and I hated myself for allowing it to happen. My business crashed and burned. Everything that I had built crashed and burned on purpose because it wasn't aligned to who I am anymore. I was going through a Kundalini awakening. I decided, hey, we're also going to learn Kundalini. And every piece of trauma that you've never processed and everything that you've never confronted within yourself, we're going to go through that all at the same time because I'm a masochist. And I'm like, how do we do this the fastest possible way possible? My nervous system went into complete and utter freak out. I was having panic attack after panic attack after panic attack. I'm talking like multiple panic attacks a week. This is how bad it was. And in one of those, finally leaving that relationship, I stood up and I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't do this. And it was abuse after the relationship. I was sued. He was trying to sue me because I broke up with him because he's a crazy person. I'm telling you, I attracted some fucking weirdos. So grateful for every single one of them because they taught me so much about myself. Anyway, so where was I going with that? I love you guys and I love that you listen to me. Sometimes I'm like, why do people listen to me? And in the depths of hell, in the lowest moments of my life, Radical came to me. And I have used it to come out of the darkest moment of my life. I was in the darkest night of the soul possible. Every single thing that I could not stand within myself, I had to take deep accountability for. And it was constant, constant. It was like an open wound, pouring lemon juice in it, and then it would like heal over a little bit, and then I put more lemon juice. It was just like constantly over and over again. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? How can I do this? I cannot do this anymore. I am constantly processing and emotioning and in this state of fight or flight and reaction. And I'm like, no, bitch, we're done. Universe, fucking show me how to move this. Show me how to fucking be done with this because I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't freak out every single time I get a text message from my ex-husband. I can't freak out every single time I have to go online. I can't freak out every single time my kids come home and they're in angry, possessive, hangry moods. I can't do this. I can't live like this anymore. My body is freaking the fuck out. My body was trying to kill itself. My body was so sick. I couldn't do it. I was shutting down. I said, universe, fucking show me. Universe, show me how the fuck to get over this, how to move this, how to heal this, how to do any of this. They're like, baby, you're already fucking doing it. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm doing it? What do you mean? And I remember sitting exactly where I am I was like, kids were after school, losing my goddamn mind. I was finally starting to come back, and like finally like feeling coming out of the depression. It was really bad coming out of the depression, and I remember being like, I need to go meditate. Mommy is. I did this thing with my kids. If any of you have kids, this is a great indicator. I'm like, so we have a rating. We're like 1 through 10. Where are we? 10 is like, I'm at my maximum. And like 1 is like, I'm cool. I'm awesome. We can play. I'm cool mom right now. Super grounded, super regulated. And I was like, mom's at a 15 out of 10, guys. I need to go meditate for a minute. And I came in here and I sat on this floor and I was meditating. And in that meditation, Radical came to me. So I was like, fucking universe, show me. They're like, recognize, accept, decide, integrate, calm, accountability, and love. I'm like, the fuck? What? Repeat, please? What? What was that? Recognize, accept, decide, integrate, calm, accountability, and love. I'm like writing it down. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. This is what I've been moving through. It's one of my friends. Like, we are one of my best friends in the entire world. We'd like voice message. I'd be like, I'm going through it. She's like, what's going on? Where are you activated? What do we do with it? How are we going to do with it? Like, how do we do this without judgment? What part of you needs it? And I'm like, I remember texting her. I'm like, fucking Nova, I figured it out. She's like, what? And I sent her. She's like, holy shit, that's what we've been doing. I'm like, I know. So we were moving through these things, but not having a name for it. So Radical came through and So I use RAD most. So RAD, recognize, accept, decide. And then I have more time I use through the whole radical. So I was using radical to move through all of these different things in my life. Okay, my ex-husband is texting me. My heart is freaking the fuck out. I feel like I've been stabbed in the chest or stabbed in the gut, can't breathe, panic attack. I mean, pause, indicator, something is happening here. Carrie, what is happening? Recognizing I am triggered because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. What part of me is scared? Oh, the part of me that feels like I'm gonna get in trouble. I didn't get in trouble, but that's just what happens because I was in an abusive relationship for 11 years, that I was constantly in trouble no matter what I did. Okay, so I'm recognizing this. I'm sitting with myself. What do I need? Okay, well, I'm not dying. I can take a breath right now. I'm deciding, what do I need? Do I need to scream? Do I need to cry? Do I need to put my phone down? Do I need to not need it? What do I need right now? And I used that with everything. Not having money coming, not loving myself, dealing with my kids. I am the most me I think I have ever been in my entire life. I am always dancing now. I am actually playing with my kids for the first time in years, and I'm enjoying it. I love myself so fucking much. It's people might think I'm crazy. And you know what? Fuck it. I am crazy. I'm a fucking crazy witch. And but radical has literally changed the trajectory of my life. So when full circle moment, this woman, I saw her post. I wanted so badly to be like, you have a choice, but nobody is taught how to move your emotions in the moment. First of all, we're told that moving our emotions and feeling emotions is bullshit and not acceptable, especially for women. Crying, screaming, dramatic, awful, ridiculous. So much emotions, so dramatic. Anger, women can't be angry. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you so angry? You have everything. You have everything handed to you. Bitch, no. We have so much suppressed anger and rage and sadness and anger and all these fucking things coming to the surface. And that's the thing too, is I started moving through radical and more shit came up to where there was some moments where I had so much, I like to call it ranger, rage and anger mixed, come through me. I was fucking scared. Like I was fucking scared. I scared myself how much. And because what was happening is I would start feeling their anger come up. And my old me would suppress it. Not right now, I'm not doing this. Or I'd be like, oh, I'm angry. And I would just like settle there. I'm angry. Oh, I'm so fucking angry. Oh, I'm angry. Oh, just like leave at this level. And once I started using radical, I would recognize it, I would accept it, and I would decide it. You know what? I'm going fucking full force in this. Every single thing that has pissed me off about whatever this situation is, I'm going to feel every ounce of it. When I say I literally, thank God my kids were not home during the biggest, largest explosion that I've ever had, to where I almost popped the punching bag and I was sore for like a week. And the screaming and the crying, like literally screaming bloody murder, sobbing on my knees, wailing, letting everything out with the rage. And then I've had moments with the sadness too, where I literally just let myself fall into it. Because when you fall into these things, when you are like, I can no longer do this anymore, I am no longer going to be triggered by this, I am no longer going to let this affect me, situations are going to come up to help you clear that. And you're going to have a choice. You get to decide, recognize, accept, decide what you're going to do with it in that moment. So I've made a promise to myself, if I can in those moments, and if I can't in that moment, I'm going to do it that day. I'm going to move through those emotions. I'm going to. I'm going to feel every ounce of it, because if you are constantly avoiding the storm will consume you. But when you go head first into that storm, it only lasts a fraction. It gets really hard for a second and then it dies off. But the more that you ignore it, the more that you prevent it, the more that you resist the feeling that needs to be felt, the bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger it gets. But if you say, you know what? I'm angry. I'm going to fucking feel all this anger right now. I'm sad. I'm going to feel all the sadness. I'm grieving. I'm going to feel all the grief right now. Storm can no longer consume you. When you decide to sit in the storm, when you decide to allow the energies, the emotions, the stories, the mindsets to consume you for a moment, because it's literally just a moment, it will dissipate. And guess what happens after that? It's like a fucking rainbow. It might take a minute for the rainbow, but it's like a fucking rainbow. I actually had a situation yesterday. Um, New relationship, doing all these things, and old stories started to surface. And I almost went back into those old patterns of I'm bad, I'm unworthy, I'm a thing. And I'm like, oh shit, indicator, what the fuck is happening right here? Recognizing, oh, codependency, I feel fear. I feel a lot of unworthiness. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm going to be left. I feel abandonment. All this shit started surfacing. And I recognized it. I'm like, okay, okay. What part of me? I'm like accepting it. I'm like, I see all of this. I see all these emotions. It's like me. And then I like stand over here and look at me and be like, okay, cool. So we're feeling all of this. What is actually happening here? Well, abandonment, not good enough, unworthy. Okay, are any of those things true? No. Has this person proven that any of those things are true? No. What part of us is so determined to feel like these things are true? The part of me that is a protector, because the protector doesn't want me to get hurt. Anyway, so I was moving through these emotions last night, and I'm like, I could have gone to my toxic behavior. I could have been super toxic with this person, even though they literally did nothing, and they did nothing. I was just having a reaction to an emotion and something that happened because things got really intense really fast. And I freaked the fuck out because what do we talk about? Safety, capacity, power? I was feeling safe in my body. Guess what? My expanding. Expanding. Huge expansion is happening in my life right now. My body didn't feel safe holding the expansion, so it started creating stories to make the expansion shrink, to keep me where I am. And I could feel it. I could literally feel it in my chest. I'm like, I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking the fuck out. This is a lot of expansion happening. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? And I almost self-sabotaged everything. The relationship, everything. The happiness, the joy, I mean, you can't, but I was falling into the space. And I use RAD to move through it. Guess what? Everything's fine now. And this morning, after moving through that, I held myself through it. I wasn't judging, I wasn't shaming, I wasn't projecting on the other person because that's the old toxic me would project. And like we all do this. We all project our emotions on other people if you don't recognize what is happening. So I recognized, accepted, decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was done with that. And I moved through this powerful, huge fucking emotion that I'm never going to have to go through again. A deep layer of codependency. Because we're all going to have, like, I'm going to have more layers of that, but that specific layer I'm never going to have to do again. So when I see, full circle again, these people out there being like, I can't regulate my emotions. How do I take space? How do I do that? This is why I fucking created Radical, because it takes 90 fucking seconds. I can go from triggered as fuck, freaking out, to 90 seconds to 5 minutes, depending on how big the emotion is, how big whatever is happening. I can come back to, okay, we're cool. What do I need? I will literally take five. Sometimes I'll tell my kids, I'm like, Mom, I just need 5 minutes. I need 5 minutes to go meditate and figure out what is happening because I'm overstimulated. I'm freaking out. There are too many things happening. You're yelling at me. You're yelling at me. You're yelling at me. I'm getting this text. I'm getting that text. I'm getting this. Little. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I don't have time to sit there and meditate for hours a day. Not an option. I'm a mom of 3 kids, also running a business, trying to create finances and stability and safety in my own life and my children's lives. I don't have time to sit there and meditate for 5 hours a day like some of these people do, these gurus do. I have real life situations. I am neurodivergent, super fucking neurospicy. I am a mother, single mother with zero other adult around 100% of the time with my children, doing everything. I don't have time to do the things that other people do. I don't have time to sit in hour-long yoga practices. I had to create something that worked for me for the life that I live. And that's how Radical was born. And Radical I use every single fucking day. Every day. I used it today. I used it yesterday. I used it this morning. I will probably use it later today because it's that powerful. And I have been able to stop trying to heal and I've been able to start living my life. I am so deeply embodied, not perfect because we're not perfect, I'm human, more embodied than I've ever been in my entire life. I fucking love myself. Like any y'all bitches could say anything, I'd be like, okay, cool. Not my deal. Not my problem. Call me crazy. Call me fucking wacko. Call me a psycho mom. Call me whatever the fuck. Because believe me, somebody's already called me that. Been there, done that, did that. Try and do this. Try and take that. Try and do this. It does not define my worth. It does not define me to who I am. And I've used that. Because right now, in this moment, I'm the best mom I've ever been. I'm the best version of myself I've ever been. I am so in love with life. It's not even fucking funny. I have people coming into my world left and right, supporting and loving me. All of these toxic people who tried to hurt me, who were jealous of me, who are projecting onto me, have left. And I'm so fucking grateful. I have learned so many lessons from so many people over the past couple of years, and I'm so fucking grateful for every single one of them. But I'm most grateful for myself because the version of me at 16-year-old who hated herself and had zero self-worth and didn't think she was ever going to make anything of herself, fucking here, baby. Nowhere where we want to be yet, but we're getting there. But this level of embodiment, this foundation had to do the work now because what's coming is so big and I had to learn to hold it and feel safe in my body first. I had to expand my capacity. And boy, have we fucking expanded. Now it's time to receive. So, if you're listening to this, one of my couple people who listen to me, you can feel free to download. I'm going to create a freebie now for, or creating a freebie for Radical. I also created a Radical recalibration activation. I did that this past week. Holy fuck, I quantum shifted so fast after recording that. And a couple people who have listened to it, that they've been like, what the fuck just happened? It's $11, y'all. $11. And you can join the Radical Reclamation membership, whereas my monthly membership, you actually get all that stuff for free. You get the activation for free, you get master classes for free, you get discounts when working with me. It's a great way to be in my world without having to pay the one-on-one fee. And then we have the vision board workshop, which is safe to receive. I go through Radical in there. It's like creating and manifesting vision boards, the things you want to call in your life. Radical abundance, which is creating abundance in your life using Radical. And then if you want to work one-on-one with me, I am calling in a couple incredible, amazing human beings who are ready to do the deep work to change their fucking lives. This is not hand-holding. This is deep embodiment at soul level. The ones who are like, I'm done. I'm done waiting. I'm done making excuses. I'm fucking here, bro. Those are my people. Okay? I love you so much. You are incredible. Thank you if you made it this far. This is quite the spastic neurospicy episode. It's been a lot of caffeine today, but something had to come through, and this is what came through. I love you, love you. I will see you next week. Bye.